made this video months ago, so this is younger me pontificating on the old router table that I had and lamenting on why I needed to change it. This was just I don't know, it was just crappy and plastic. It mounted underneath with these chintzy little things, and I ended up making one that went over my table saw fence, ended up not working out, so I decided it was time to build my own. Like all my builds, I did a lot of research to try to figure out what it was I was really looking for, what sort of features I wanted this fence to have, and on woodcraft.com I found these plans here, so this build is going to be inspired heavily from that design. I'm starting with a piece of maple. I want to make sure that the hole that I do design to accept the router bits is the right size, so I'm taking what did work from my old router fences, and I'm going to transfer that to this new one. This measurement ended up being 3 inches wide by 3 1/8 inch tall. With the measurement laid out, I'm going to use my speed square to help keep the lines straight as I use my ancient Black & Decker jigsaw to help make the cuts. I use my hand chisel to clean up all the edges and make sure everything's smooth. And from there, I want to do a test fit, make sure everything is going to fit just right. This T-track that I'm using, the blue part, that's not the final T-track for this project. The T-track that I am using is on order at this time, so that will come in later. These triangles are going to add support and make sure that this doesn't go out of level. They're at a right angle and they're 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. The measurement for my old fence worked great, so I'm going to transfer that to my new table. Only instead of making it squared off like that one was, I'm going to round it out. I'm using a hole saw for this. This is a 3-inch hole saw because the diameter of the hole will match the opening of the fence at the front of the fence, which is also 3 inches. So I'll use that as a stencil just as a reference point. I'm going to put this in my vise. You'll notice that lighter color board, that is my sacrificial board. The center point for my hole saw is going to be right on the edge of the board that I'm drilling. I need something to give it some stability, so I've added that sacrificial board to accept the center bit so that it won't walk all over the place. And then I just drill my hole. And with that done, I want to give everything another test fit. I need to create a spacer to bring the T-track to the front of the white melamine. The white melamine is 3/4 of an inch. The T-track is 3/8 of an inch, so I need a 3/8 inch spacer in order to bring that out flush. I use glue and 5/8 brads to hold that in place. I'll do another test fit to make sure everything lines up and moves freely. The adjustable part of the fence will need T-track as well. I've cut a 3/8 inch deep dado to accept the T-track. There'll be some holes drilled into the back to allow the T-bolts to come through. But before I move into that, I'm actually going to put some edge band on the top just to neaten it up and allow it to slide neatly underneath that T-track. If you haven't seen videos in the past of me doing this, it is heat-activated glue on the back of that strip. It cuts nice and easy with just a regular pair of scissors, and I use a hot iron, usually somewhere around the cotton setting or a high setting. I have it just slightly below that so it doesn't burn, and I just run it very gently over the edge band. That glue activates, it melts, and then it hardens. Then it's just a matter of taking a razor knife, trimming the edges. I always leave them a little long so I can trim them. There's a 45 there, so I want to make sure I go along that nice and neat. And that's it. It doesn't take long at all, and it makes a nice neat edge on kind of some messier stuff. Then I just clean it up with a razor knife. They make edge trimmers. I just haven't bought one. The razor knife always works well for me. When the T-track I ordered finally came in, it was time to cut it to length. This is, I believe, 31 3/4 inches long. So I just use a regular hacksaw to cut it. It's pretty easy to go through. That piece that fell on the floor is actually going to go into the back of one of the adjustable parts of the fence, as you can see there. And I'll cut that to length later on. This piece of T-track that I'm working with is on the 3/8 spacer that we had put on earlier. I use an awl to punch a small hole, then I pre-drill everything, and I use screws to attach it. This did not come with screws, so be aware of that if you order it. You may need to get 1/2 inch or 3/4. 3/4 is slightly too long, so you want to back it off to about 1/2 inch. It cuts with a hacksaw the same as before. We're going to move on to the top right now. I'm using a straight edge to go from corner to corner. This helps me find the center of this long rectangle. What I want to do from there is I'm going to take the plate. This is a router plate that came with my router. I ordered this as a kit. These 2 pieces of T-track I'm setting down will be recessed into the table. This is what's going to hold our fence in place. Once I have the plate centered and squared, I'm using my pencil to mark its perimeter. I am going to cut out a basic hole, and then I'm going to route it out to kind of recess it down into the table. The hole I'm going to cut with my jigsaw is indented from the edges that I drew of the plate. So about 1 inch on the top and bottom, and about 2 inches from side to side. As you can see, I'm freehanding this right now. I'm going to come back in later on with some straight edges. This doesn't have to be completely straight. I'm going as straight as I possibly can following my lines. But the plate is going to be recessed in. I'm going to use straight edges with my router to really make that look good. So I'm taking out small bits as I go, making a huge mess. Now I'm coming probably about 1/4 of an inch within that line. The depth that I am cutting here is only the depth of the plate. I want to use a straight edge, as you can see here, to make that final cut up to the line so that everything is absolutely perfectly straight, so that it lines up nice and won't have a space around the plate once it's set in. I had to freehand these corners though, so it's just very patiently using small little moves to cut that final bit out, and I did this on all 4 corners. I used a Sharpie marker in order to really see that line along with some bright light. And with a little bit of patience and some fine tuning, it ended up fitting nice and tight. I did have to use a wooden mallet to kind of pop it in place and convince it a little bit that it wanted to fit there, but I do like that nice tight fit. I didn't want it kind of slopping around. Nobody likes it all sloppy. Using my trim router or my palm router, I am going to be making 3/4 inch dados to accept the T-track that is going to hold the fence on. And I do that for both sides. Once I get it routed, I do have to do some hand chiseling in order to square off the ends. So I'm just going to take my razor knife to score the top so I don't split it. Then I use a nice sharp chisel to get in there and remove the last of the material. This takes a little bit of time, so be patient with it. But once it's done, you can slide that right in, and we'll screw that down as well. This step isn't necessary, but I wanted to neaten up the edge. I didn't have any more of the white melamine edge band, but I did have some leftover birch, so I decided to put that on the side. As I said, this isn't necessary, but it neatens it up, and I like the look. I'm using a center punch to mark the holes. These holes that I'm drilling right now are going to accept the T-bolts that are going to hold on our adjustable fence. And I'll show you those T-bolts. I bought a little kit here. Came with handles and washers and the T-bolts themselves. So that kind of oblong bolt will fit inside the blue T-track and keep it from pulling out. So I'm sliding that into the T-track that we put on the back of our adjustable fence right now, sliding that on from the front, flip it around, and on the back it's going to get a washer on each bolt, and then it will get the plastic handle. And I've been using these and they work really well. They're very convenient to have that. I thought about going wing nuts, but this wasn't a very expensive kit. I think it was maybe $15 for all of it, maybe less. And it really just makes it pop and look nicer. So I'm glad I went that route. But you can see it holds it in place nice and tight. And then it's just a couple quick little twists and it'll loosen it up and slide nice and free once I actually loosen it. And I do the same for the other side. And with the adjustable part of the fence put in place, now it's time to attach it to the base. I'm using the usual glue and screw to put this together. If you did happen to check out the woodworkers.com version, he used a biscuit joiner. I actually did try to use a biscuit joiner for the first time. My father-in-law gave me his. I messed it all up, so I ended up not using the biscuits and just stuck with glue and screws for now. The support triangles are getting put on with glue and nails. These two are spaced 6 inches apart, and the reason for that is this piece of 6 inch by 4 inch quarter inch plywood is going to be put on here. There's going to be a 2-inch hole drilled in it, which you can see right there. That is going to accept a dust hose or a dust collection system. I gave it a coat of black paint. You can obviously choose any color you want. I left some of the wood bare. This is where all the movable parts will be. I didn't want the paint to eventually stick, which it has a tendency to do sometimes in humidity. The melamine's going to slide nicely on that bare wood. And from there, I just had to put the whole thing back together. I had removed the T-track as well, just because I didn't want to have to tape over it. It seemed like more of a pain to tape it, and then it would have been just to pull the screws. So once I had the whole thing back together, it was time to put it on the router table. And here we have our completed router fence to go along with our router table. If you missed the part 1 of this video, building the router table, I will link that in the description. I've been using this now for about 3 months and it's been working great. I was actually avoiding my router so many times in the past because it was such a pain in the ass to set up. As you can see here, it works really well, nice, easy to set up, makes nice clean lines. I cannot be happier with how this came together, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you like this video and the other videos that I've been putting out, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. I've got a really good following and I'd like to keep that going. So until next time, I appreciate you and take care.